Okay, we did page 35 earlier. We're actually going to start a brand new 2-page spread for this one. So this is page 36, and we are talking today about coordinate planes. You won't always see the dash in there, and that's okay because coordinate is a word on its own, but I like to highlight that because an ordinate is like order, it's a direction. Coordinate means two, which is why there's a pair. Coordinate grid or coordinate plane. All right, I'm going to start by drawing a great big coordinate plane. I'm going to turn this so that my face is in view. So I'm sure you miss seeing my face. Okay, so most of your life up to this point, you have been working in graphs where everything took place in just this part. Okay, and you knew that the bottom thing here was the x-axis, and the one going up was the y-axis. And if someone asked you to plot point 3, 6, it meant you were going to go 3 on the x and 6 on the y. Something looks weird, but we'll just go with it. So this point is at 3, 6 because we are above the 3 on the x-axis and across from the 6 on the y-axis. What we're doing now is extending that understanding to include other kinds of numbers, specifically negative numbers. So here, this is quadrant 1, and the numbers are all positive in quadrant 1. Also, we write it in Roman numerals. Okay, but just like this line is the x-axis, this line is also the x-axis. So all the way across, this line is the x-axis. Okay, and in the center, we have a point we call the origin. We can put the arrow from any way, but the origin is where everything spreads out from, and the coordinate of the origin is 0, 0. So it's at 0 on the x-axis, right in the middle, and 0 on the y-axis. So the origin is 0, 0. So we have positive numbers going out forever if we wanted them to. I think that's 10 right there. On the x-axis, this is looking like a number line now, right? And what would come on the left of a number line? It would be all the negative numbers. So you have -1, -2, -3, -4. Works just like a number line would, right? So we also have, just like this up here was the y-axis, the y-axis goes all the way down as well. And where the y-axis you're used to only has positive numbers, this y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 can also go below 0, can go down. So -1, -2, -3, -6, etc. So now that we've added these two lines, I shouldn't even really say added. Now that we've extended the axes so that they go on either side of 0, we went from having one place where we can store information to having 4. And these each have a name. So We said this is quadrant run, and here the numbers are always positive. This is quadrant 2. In Roman numerals, that's II. This is quadrant 2, and here we have positive x values, but negative y values. So in our ordered pair, since x always comes first, we're going to have positive x, negative y. And if this is starting to feel like, oh my gosh, Miss Buck, it's fine. Just don't panic. Over here, this is kind of the exact opposite of quadrant run. It's opposite in the sense that it's on the perfect other side of it, but it's also the opposite because in quadrant 3, the numbers are all negative. So just like it was positive, positive, here it's going to be negative, negative. So if we were to plot, let's say, the point -3, -4, that's the kind of point that's going to be in quadrant 3 because it has two negatives. It has a negative x, -3, and a negative y, -4. Okay? And that leaves one other area, you can probably guess, quadrant 4, which is the opposite of quadrant 2. So where quadrant 2 had positive x's and negative y's, in quadrant 4, the x's are negative and the y's are positive. Negative x, positive y. Okay? Let's talk really quick about why this word quadrant. Well, quad hopefully makes you think of the root word for 4. And there are 4 quadrants. These are all the quadrants. There's no other ones that I'm not telling you about. So they're called quadrants because there are 4 of them. And so each one is 1/4 of this whole plane. They go in order like this. I like to think about, this is quadrant 1 because it was the first one you learned about. It was first in this video, but also it was just first in your life. Positive, positive. From there, it goes around in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of the skills is going to be, if I tell you a point, you can plot it and then tell me what quadrant it's in. So let's practice right now. I would like you to plot the point. Practice down here. I want you to plot the point 2, -5. So plot the point 2, -5. Okay, the pause break should be over. 2, -5 would be over 2, down 5, so it would be right here. And we would say that's in quadrant 2. So if you see something that says like, describe the location of it says describe the location of 2, -5. The location is quadrant 2. That would be the answer to that kind of a question. All right, so important terms. Should get this thing out of the way. Important terms. We have this whole thing as our coordinate plane. This is our x-axis. This is our y-axis. There's really not a great trick to remember that. You just have to remember, you have to learn to figure out a way to memorize that x is the horizontal one and y is the vertical one. The origin point is what's right in the center at 0, 0. The origin is always 0, 0. That's never going to change. Then the quadrants, we start with quadrant 1 is the first one you learned about. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And as a quick reminder, whenever you're plotting a point, always remember that the first number is the x, it's how far over you go, and the second number is the y, it's how far up or down you go.